Whatever else we talk about in the world nowadays when it comes to technology, and you know this, call in any time, 0891 104 207. But the issue of connectivity is critical. So let's find out. We're going to look at two things. Wi-Fi just now in a few minutes' time. But for now, let's talk about internet connectivity in broad terms with Christopher Geerdts, who's the chairperson of the Wireless Access Providers Association. Christopher, hi. Good afternoon.
Hi, Ashraf, and welcome to the listeners, and thanks for having us on the show.
It's a pleasure. Talking about your role, Wireless Access Providers Association, what in fact do you guys do?
Okay, I'm the chairperson of the Wireless Access Providers Association, which is also known as WAPA, and it's actually very good timing having us on the air because our organization is enjoying really unprecedented growth at the moment due to the massive pent-up demand for broadband in the country. We're growing at over 20% per annum in terms of our members, and our members give competitive wireless internet for connecting homes, farms, businesses, clinics, internet cafes, schools, and also one-off events such as emergency relief events, sporting international events, etc. And we provide high-quality, high-speed internet to that clientele. The Wireless Access Providers Association is the mouthpiece for the industry as a whole. We've seen the need to organize together to improve the quality of the service that we provide and to engage governments and other stakeholders.
What does it mean, therefore? I mean, in terms of who are the members? Who do you represent?
Okay, so our members are largely licensed telcos or service providers, and they've got a license to provide internet or voice services, the same quality license that MTN and Telkom would enjoy, for example, and they use that license to provide wireless services mainly to end customers, in other words providing the last mile connectivity, which is really the difficult challenge. And we represent them as an organized body. In other words, we're an industry representative organization, and we represent the interests of those organizations and their stakeholders.
And how do they benefit from being a part of you?
Well, our members are the telcos, so if they join, they can get certain benefits, such as we fight on their behalf for regulatory issues with the CASA, where we feel we can provide benefits. For example, at the moment we're pushing for more spectrum. Some of the spectrum has gone to the bigger players.
Yes.
And we believe that we can offer, say, rural connectivity and better service and better pricing if we have access to some of that spectrum. So part of our role is lobbying and getting a national awareness that there are other ways of providing internet. Then we have the ability to, for example, set up a code of conduct so that the customers, which would be, say, your listenership, could be confident that if they used one of our members, they'd get a standard level of service and be able to resolve any issues easily.
How? I mean, over a year ago we spoke about, undersea cables and how that's going to affect broadband and bring down the cost, etc. Has that happened largely? People are still waiting for this to happen.
On the one hand, there's the international broadband. So the cables will provide the cheaper access into the country. But the difficult part has been the last mile. In other words, from your house or your business premises to, into the international network, and especially in the rural areas where people have absolutely zero, not at all, no infrastructure, and therefore they can't benefit from what the rest of the world is enjoying. So what our members provide is especially that last mile access to connect from the cheaper services into your premises or residence.
Now, so we've got a tweet from Kaliso saying, what is your take on the responsibilities of parastatals like broadband Infraco in ensuring that inexpensive connectivity happens for South Africa? Can you also perhaps tell us, in your opinion, if such companies are winning or failing and why?
Okay, so some of our members, in fact, very many of them are in extremely remote spots. And just to balance that, there are also many of our members in Sandton, for example, so there's a wide mix. But if you take the ones that are in the rural areas, they battle to get the internet into their areas. And what they've done is, through a lot of innovation, is they've managed to backhaul or connect back into the core areas. And that's an area where we believe that Broadband Infraco and others could provide a huge service. So we have actually engaged Infraco about that, and they're certainly willing to talk. But in the meantime, while we wait for that rollout, we've done things like get together as members and work a way where a couple of members can provide a single link collectively. So we've actually managed to do a lot with a little up until now, and we believe that if those organizations are really serious about rural broadband, we can work with them to combine the backhaul into the area with the local access to each person or clinic or school in that area.
Now we're going to talk to the guys from Always On Wi-Fi in a few minutes' time. But it just gets me thinking, as an industry, in terms of connectivity, for users, people using, consumers like myself, but also others wanting to enter the industry. How difficult is it?
If you want to, well, we made it particularly easy to enter the industry. The one thing that one does need is a license, and I have to stress that all our members are licensed by the regulator to provide the service. Now, if you want to provide a national license, that requires often finding an existing provider and forming a relationship with them or buying a license. If you want to work in, say, one province, it's relatively easy. And one of the services we provide is to actually make that onboarding very easy. So we have a regulatory component to our service, the advisory, where we engage the new potential member and give them exact advice on how to get involved. Some of our members, for example, are what are called wireless user groups, which is an ad hoc group of people in one area who said, let's just connect to each other and maybe we can play games with each other. And we offer them free access as members, so they can become a member as part of our service. And in areas such as Soweto, with the Soweto Wireless User Group, we've actually helped them to go far beyond, say, a hobby, to actually connecting businesses and residences in those areas.
Okay, I'll tell you what, if people want to know more, I'm going to give out your website details. Christopher, thanks so much for your time. Most appreciated. Christopher Geerdts is the chairperson of the Wireless Access Providers Association. Now, you can contact them, check them out. Go to the website WAPA, W-A-P-A, WAPA at, let me start again, wapa.org.za. So wapa.org.za. And I'm going to I'll get Joey, my producer, to post all the information around tech media issues. We'll do it on Facebook as well as on Twitter, so you can check it out. But if you're also stuck anytime, let me know. I'll see if I can assist you, because I see I've got an SMS from Miriam saying, Ashraf, could you please forward me Peter Major's contact numbers? I'm exposed to bluestone mining, sand dust in my area. Thanks. Okay, I suggest contact me, Miriam, to ashraf@safm.co.za, and we'll try and then connect you to Peter Major's himself. And do that for anybody else, any other queries you have. Let me remind you, Sudumo Dlamini, or Stumo, the COSATU president, is my guest after 3. So that should be really interesting. Don't miss that. Let's, however, now move on to